Hello, hello! Welcome back to the Luana English Podcast. I am Luana, and I am so happy you are listening today. This is the podcast where we practice English together, naturally and slowly.
Hi everyone, Josimar here. It is wonderful to be back with you. How are you doing today, Luana?
I am great, Josimar, thank you. But, well, actually, yesterday I was a little bit upset.
Oh no, why? What happened?
I went to a cafe, and I waited for my coffee for 20 minutes. 20 minutes!
Wow, that is a long time for a coffee. Did you say something to the waiter?
I did, but I wanted to be nice. It is difficult, right? How do we say we are unhappy without being rude?
That is a great question, and that is exactly our topic for today, expressing frustration. We are going to learn how to complain politely in English.
Yes, this is a super important topic for everyday life. So let's start our conversation. So, Josimar, let's imagine a situation. We are at a restaurant. The food arrives, but it is cold. What do you do? Do you get angry?
No, getting angry usually makes things worse. In English, we use soft words to start a complaint. For example, I always start with, "Excuse me."
Right. Excuse me is like a magic word. It gets their attention nicely. What do you say next?
Well, I don't say, "This food is terrible." That is too direct. Instead, I say, "I'm sorry to trouble you, but my food is a bit cold."
Ooh, I like that. I'm sorry to trouble you. It sounds very polite. Why do we say sorry if they made the mistake?
It's just a cultural habit in English. It shows you respect the other person. It softens the bad news.
Ah, I see. What if you are at a hotel and the Wi-Fi is not working? That happens to me all the time, and it drives me crazy.
Me too. If the Wi-Fi is down, you can go to the reception and say, "Excuse me, I'm having some trouble with the internet." Notice, I didn't say your internet is bad. I said, "I am having some trouble."
That makes the problem sound smaller, so the receptionist wants to help you. But Josimar, what if the problem is big? What if you are really, really frustrated?
Good point. If you need to show that you are very unhappy, you can use the phrase, "to be honest." For example, "To be honest, I've been waiting for a long time."
To be honest, that means you are sharing your real feelings, but you are still calm.
Exactly. Another good phrase is, "I was hoping." For example, "I was hoping to have a quiet room, but the street is very noisy."
Wow, I was hoping is beautiful. It explains what you wanted without attacking the hotel.
Yes. Remember, the secret to complaining in English is to talk about the situation, not the person. Don't say, "You are slow." Say, "The service is a bit slow today."
That is excellent advice, Josimar. It changes everything. Now let's look a bit closer at the words we just used. Welcome to the deep dive.
Today, let's talk about two specific grammar and cultural tricks, softeners and the phrase "a bit."
Yes, let's start with a bit. In our chat, you said the food was a bit cold and the service was a bit slow. Why do we use a bit so much?
In English, if you say, "The soup is cold," it sounds very absolute and a little aggressive. But if you say, "The soup is a bit cold," it sounds less intense. It means a little. It makes the complaint easier to hear.
So it's like a cushion for the bad news.
Exactly. You can use it with many adjectives, a bit late, a bit expensive, a bit loud.
Perfect. Now, what about softeners? Those are the phrases we put at the beginning of the sentence, right?
Yes, phrases like "I'm afraid that" or "unfortunately."
Oh, I hear "I'm afraid that" a lot in British English especially. It doesn't mean you are scared of something, right?
Correct. It just means I am sorry to tell you this negative information. For example, "I'm afraid that this is not what I ordered."
That is so elegant. Let's practice. If a store charges me too much money, how do I use a softener?
You can say, "Excuse me, unfortunately, I think there is a mistake on my bill."
Unfortunately, I think there's a mistake on my bill. That is perfect. It gives the worker a chance to fix it without feeling attacked. Time for our vocabulary summary. We chose 5 useful words and phrases from today's episode. Let's review. Josimar, what is number 1?
1.
To trouble someone. It means to bother or inconvenience someone. For example, I'm sorry to trouble you, but could you help me find my keys?
2. Drives me crazy. This is an idiom. It means something makes you feel very annoyed or frustrated. For example, the sound of that loud clock drives me crazy when I try to sleep.
3. To be honest. We use this phrase when we want to state a clear, true opinion, especially if it might be negative. For example, to be honest, I didn't really like the movie we watched last night.
4. I was hoping. We use this past continuous phrase to politely describe what we expected or wanted to happen. For example, I was hoping to see you at the party, but you weren't there.
And 5. I'm afraid that. A polite phrase used to introduce bad news or a complaint. For example, I'm afraid that the train is already late.
And that is all for today's episode. You now know how to complain politely in English. No more being rude and no more staying silent when you're unhappy.
That's right. Here is your call to action for today. Try to write one polite complaint in the comments section below using the phrase, I'm afraid that, or I was hoping to.
Yes, practice makes perfect. Thank you for listening to the Luana English Podcast.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.